Hello everyone. So today we are going to fix few of the issues that we have in this weapon system, and also I'm going to add some improvements into the RPG. So the main improvement I'm going to add is, so previously we had some kind of a mismatch between the aiming direction and the aim pointed by the RPG when I aim it to the reticle. And also I'm going to implement this effect where if I shoot a nearer character, so this RPG explodes like a bomb, so it should affect all the nearby actors. So if I, instead of shooting directly at a character, if I shoot it like here, see, you can see it did explode the nearby barrel, and also it killed the nearby characters as well. So I'm gonna implement, mainly that is the feature I'm going to implement today. Alright, so let's see how to do these things today. And this episode is sponsored by these generous patrons. Thank you very much for the support. Right, so still there are a few issues that we need to address to make this weapon system work properly. So the first thing I want to address is this one. So when I aim, as you can see here, the weapon is not properly aligning to the crosshair. So if I shoot, you can see it's not like going in the direction that the gun is pointed to, the RPG is pointed to. So right, to fix that, this is the idle aiming stand animation that I have used. So I am blending. If I show you the animation blueprint, I use that idle aiming stand in animation here for the RPG. This is the one I am using, and I am blending that animation to the upper body of the character using spine 3. So as you can see here, let me show you again. If I make the character look down a little bit and maybe look right a little bit, this animation would match. So let's try here, select the spline to make it look down. I think this should be, yeah, like this. Let's try like 3, a little bit, not much. And to look right, but oh, when I reduce it, it looks to right. So maybe like 9 would work. Let's see. And then we have to add a key and apply. Right, now let's pick up the RPG and equip it. Right, now I think it's, is it good? It's better than before actually. I think it's can be broad a little bit. Maybe, yeah, I set this one to 1, value 1, and it seems fine now. Yeah, better. Okay, and one more thing. So that's regarding the RPG. So as you can see here, if I change the gun to this one, MP5, you can see still character is having the animation for the AK-47. If I switch and switch back, now you can see the animation has been changed. So here what we need to do is when we swap the animations, we also need to change the gun type that the character is holding. So we can update it in the animation blueprint through this set gun type, but I have called it only when I equip a particular gun. I think, let me search set gun type. Yeah, only when we in the begin play we call it, and only when we switch the weapon. Yes, so when we swap the weapon also we have to call it. Here. If this weapon is already equipped, we need to equip it again. So we can use the same thing, same part that we have used here, which is this one. So why don't we update to a macro? Update gun type. This is relevant for the animation. ABP. This stands for animation blueprint. So in the swap, we set the current weapon, this newly picked up weapon, as the current weapon or the weapon. So we can here call the update gun type ABP. Now once I switch to the other weapon, the hand should be here. Also we have a problem. There is a little problem in the hand that we need to address. Right now it's quickly changed to the relevant animation, see, without having to switch the gun. Okay, and here also there is a slight mismatch that we need to fix. Just like for the RPG animation fix, we can fix the relevant animation for MP5 AMID as well. But you know how to do it, so now wait, let's do it here. We need to make the character look down a little bit, perhaps like this, and to the right a little bit. Yeah, better. Okay, so the other problem that also comes with the RPG here. So when I shoot here, we can see the rocket is going, but when I shoot into the sky, I don't really see rocket going anywhere. Okay, so why is that happening? Right, let's open the blueprint of the RPG to figure out what's the problem. Sorry, this is the problem. I have to connect this time calculation and I have forgot to do so. Right, so actually what I'm doing there is I check the distance. Oh wait, when there is no hit, I'm not sure if I get a distance. So here what I'm doing is we do a line trace to determine the hit location that the bullet is going to hit here. So when there is no hit, that means I can use this target location, and yeah, still I can calculate the distance using the start position and the end position. And start position is this nozzle location, end position is this target location. So we can use the same thing and divide it by 2000, because that's the speed I have used for the rocket. Right, now let's see. Still going. Still going. Well, it looks like it's still going, but yeah, it's okay not to hear the explosion sound because we are aiming to the sky. So alright, okay, that problem is fixed. Yeah, the other thing I want to address is this. So usually when we hit something like a RPG, even if I don't exactly hit a certain location, if I hit a nearby place like this, still it should affect the objects around that, because it's basically like a grenade or a bomb or an explosion. So it's not like a tiny bullet. So we have already implemented a system where when I shoot on a barrel, it affects its nearby objects. We can easily inspect it here. If I shoot, see, the other character is also affected, but this doesn't happen with the rocket launcher, the RPG. So let's copy the same behavior that we have implemented for the exploding barrel to have an area of to define an area affected by the explosion of the rocket launcher hit location. So let me open the explosive barrel blueprint. Here we have this explode event, and there what I do is we basically spawn an emitter, explosion emitter, and then play explosion sound and apply radius damage to this explosive object mesh. And yeah, here we have this damage nearby objects. So this is the part important to us. So there what we do is we do a multi-sphere trace for objects, and using that we determine the surrounding objects, and on those objects we call this on explosion hit event through the BPI damageable, so we can deal damage to those surrounding objects. That's basically what I have done here. So we can copy the same behavior. So to do that, I think it would be better if we define an explosive an actor component that handles the explosions and dealing damages, etc. So that we can use that same component in here and also in the RPG bullet as well. RPG grenade as well. Later on, when we implement this like hand grenades, etc., we can use the same mechanism. Right. So let me, where is the explosive barrel? Here. Let me define a blueprint actor component. Let's call it explosive component. Right, now here I'm gonna define a custom event explode. Yeah, actually we can copy the same thing here. Let me copy that and paste. Here we are used to do once, not because some object usually it can explode only once, something like a bomb. Right, we don't really need this debris part here. We only need these parts that we explode the object. Okay. Here, there. Is everything all right? I think we need to define a variable. Is this one? Oh, this is for the mesh. This is where this explosive object, that means in the barrel. This one, and yeah, we don't need that part as well for the explosive component, so I will remove that as well. Still we can use the sound and the particle effect. Right, so for the location we can use get actor location. Oh, we don't have actor. Yeah, get owner. Because this is a component, the owner is going to be an actor, so we can use that. Set lifespan. This is also for the actor. I don't think we need to do that here. Right. Explosion radius. Let's set this as a variable. Value. What's the value we have used for the barrel? 500. Let's use the same value. Why can't I use owner here? As the explosion source we can get owner. Right. Okay, now let's add that explosive component here, and for the explode event we can call explode on this component, and we can call it. So right, this part is not needed because we handle it in the explosive component. Set lifespan part is required. We don't need the sound, but still we need the radius damage part. Decal spawning also not required. Damage nearby objects also not required. Those are handled inside the explosive component. Right, now shall we check if the explosion of the barrel is still working? Yeah, it does. Alright, now let's add an explosive component to the RPG. Okay, so now here we have a mid bullet. Here we spawn, no, RPG grenade. This is RPG. Yeah, sorry, I don't need explosive component to the RPG. Sorry about that. I need one here in the RPG grenade. And here also we don't need any of these explosion sounds or explosion emitters. We can just call explode event in the explosive component. Right, okay, now let me check. Now instead of hitting the barrel, let's hit near the barrel. Yeah, it worked. Great. So we don't really have to directly hit any of the characters. Okay, great. So also if you need to customize the explosion sounds, so explosion particle or anything, I can promote them into variables. Here is the particle. Let's call it explosion particle. By default it has this P explosion and sound. Explosion sound. Oh, S and U is interchanged. Right, if I make them public, now you can access them here. See, if you want to override them, change them, you can do it, whatever you need. Okay, so with that, I think I can stop this episode right here. And thanks for watching. So as always, project files will be available for the download through Patreon page. Link could be in the description below. And if you like to support my work, you can get the membership of the Patreon club. Thanks for watching. See you in another episode. Goodbye.